Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of this podcast, The Land of Life. Alright, today I want to talk about comparison. Comparing ourselves. When have you compared yourself? Or do you compare yourself constantly? Because I do, or I did. I did it a lot. It was a problem. Comparison has it's based on pride. And you would say, well, comparing some things is not necessarily wrong. And you're right. Making a comparison between a hamburger or a hot dog in calories to know what you're gonna eat, maybe that can be good. Or making a comparison between one dress or another, or a suit or another to know what you want to wear. That's good. It's not bad. But we're talking specifically about comparing yourself to others. But what if I compare myself to be better? That's a question you could ask yourself. What if I'm comparing myself to grow, to see the good things in others so that I could become like them? Okay, well then who are you comparing to? Because I would compare to men in the scriptures. And that could be good, right? I would compare to Moses, Elijah, David, Paul, Peter, John, and I'll think I'm not quite like them. I'm terrible comparing to them. I'm never gonna be someone, a good minister before God like this man did. I watched the movie Daniel. I watched this. It's an incredible movie. it has very good effects on some scene, like visual effects on some scenes, and I think it's a movie from Brazil, and so the budget most for that movie must have not been like super big, but it has some good scenes. I'm gonna see if I can leave a link on the description for you guys to go see it. And I watched that movie and I end up comparing myself to Daniel. Especially because Daniel, he had a lot of visions. He saw Jesus. Daniel saw Jesus. And I was like, Lord, let me see you. Lord, let me see you. And then I ended up comparing myself to Daniel. Which is good. Now that I think about it, I think the Lord is showing me that is good. Sometimes it came to a point where comparison can be bad. So my prayers would sometimes go like this. It would be, God, give me the humility of Moses, the strength of David, the strength of Samson, and the faith of David, and give me this from this person, and the passion of Paul, and the faith of Peter, because I think Peter had a strong faith. You needed strong faith to walk on water. Although Jesus, it says that it's just as little as a mustard seed, and you could say to a mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. And when I say that Peter had a lot of faith, I mean God was very faithful on Peter in that moment where he made him walk over water when his eyes were fixed on him. And so the faithfulness of God was great on Peter in that moment. And so I would say, give me this from that person, and that would be my prayers. Sometimes, of course. Sometimes it wasn't always. But that became a problem. Even though that is good sometimes, and it's good to acknowledge that if Moses was a humble God, and it says, the word of God says that Moses was faithful in all of the house of the Lord. And I'm going to put the Bible verses down here. And if you see that and you say, God, I want to be like Moses, faithful in all of your house, so I can talk to you and see you face to face, that is good. But it is better to see Christ and say, Jesus, I want to be like you. And I was missing on the face of Jesus, which has already been revealed to us. In the old back then, before Jesus came, nobody had really seen in the flesh the maximum expression of Jesus Christ. And Daniel saw Jesus, but I don't know if that was in the flesh, like Jesus as in human form, as a man, or if it was in vision or on a heavenly form. But those are more complex topics. But now that we had the revelation of the humanly form, the maximum expression of Jesus for us, that we can touch and see, and it's real until now. Like that, what he did was so great that it's real until now, so much that we believe in the power of the cross, that he died for us and he reconciliated us with heaven. And I was missing on saying, Jesus, I want to be like you. Because that's so far, right? That looks so, it's like the top. Like, how would you say, God, like, I want to be like you? That could even become scary, to be like the enemy, how he was in heaven and he wanted to be like God. And so, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And I was missing on wanting to be like Jesus. And that's not good. And when I realized that I was comparing myself to all of these men in the Bible that were imperfect, but God made them perfect in his will. But I was not looking at Jesus. Man, that's confronting. Because he is the owner and the creator of everything. Everything good that could be on those holy men comes directly from Jesus.